been going crazy. No, you can't blame me, you either hustle or lazy. I've been going all summer, running at the numbers, and you ain't gotta wonder how we doing. It's the movement, it's the real estate newsroom with Charles Noonan.
Welcome to another episode of the Real Estate Newsroom. I'm your host, Charles Noonan. Today we got a very special guest for our Millionaire Guest Chair. Then just to get us started, guys, I got to go into the market minute. This week in real estate, we got 3 auctions going on that are going to end actually within this week. So we have the Syracuse Land Bank. You guys got to hit the Syracuse Land Bank and go buy those houses there. They are pennies on the dollar. The second thing for the market minute, we have the Houston Land Bank. For everybody in H-Town, I want you guys to go just Google Houston Land Bank. You'll find the Houston Land Bank. They got land deals. They got special deals for developers and contractors. And then third, for everybody in the South, for all my Floridians, we have the Polk County Tax Auction. You guys can hit the Polk County Tax Auction as soon as you're finished watching this episode and register for the auction and go get you guys some properties. That's going to wrap up our market minute for today's segment. Now let's get into Behind the Build. 3 steps to starting your first build. All right. This segment of Behind the Build is sponsored by Be Forever Younger. All right. First and behind the build, the first step, you have to find a market that's booming. So do your market research, do your industry research, do market analysis, find an industry in real estate that's booming. Second thing you have to do, you have to find a piece of land. Don't forget to offer seller financing when you find a piece of land, or you guys could just use unsoldland.org, where every piece of land that you find there, you guys can actually purchase for just $300 down. If not, and you need financing, use a website called Plastic. That way you can pay with a credit card and they will wire the funds to the title company so you guys can close. The third piece to Behind the Build. Find yourself an architect to draw you a set of plans. So if you're building a house, here's a tip. Find a house that you like. Find a house that you actually think is a really cool house. Go to the Department of Buildings or Zoning. Grab those plans and then give them to an architect and say, make me this. Then you'll design the inside on your own. All right, now for the final segment today, we have the Millionaire Guest Chair. We got my guy, Lee Patterson, all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. He's an international investor with 25 doors. Welcome, Lee. How are you?
Good, man. Thanks for having me.
Yes, welcome to the show. All right, so Lee, right off the bat, man, on the Real Estate Newsroom, we ask that you share a gem right off the bat. Share with the audience, introduce yourself to the audience, and share something that people can't Google or don't know pertaining to funding in real estate.
All right, what's up, everybody? I'm Lee Patterson, originally from Longview, Texas, now residing in Atlanta. I want to drop some game on you guys about y'all that are seeking your first piece of real estate. You can go to Regions Bank. It's a eastern bank in the South that they have the Regions 100 program where they will do your first piece of property, usually like first-time buyers type of deal, and you can get your first property with no money out of pocket. And that is something you can use to buy up to 4 units. Fourplex, can't find a fourplex, triplex, duplex, or a single family with the most rooms, whatever you qualify for. So I want to drop that game on you guys. So if you're looking for your first, I'm used to saying income producing asset, but just your first house, right? That is a gem that you can use. And there's lots of local banks, depending on where you're at, that we can find you where you don't have to bring any money down for your first home.
Man, that's amazing, bro. I appreciate you sharing that with the team. How'd you find that bank?
I found it just because I'm in a small town and people talk, and I had opened up an actual banking account with them from college, believe it or not. Being from Texas, I was in Georgia. My mom needed to send me money. We didn't have cash out back then. I'm kind of aging myself, right? We didn't have it there. It was typical. It was strictly putting money in the bank. Yeah. And you go to that bank and take it out. Yeah, that's the only way you were getting cash back then. And so just having that relationship from 25 years ago, they would mail me and send me things, and they had something called the Region. And I had a relationship with them. And so I would ask about these things because when you get to a certain age, there's certain things you want. And so you start researching it. Yeah. And so that's how I came upon that.
Oh, so you had a relationship with them.
Absolutely.
Did you use them for one of your loans?
I did. My first ever buy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was it seamless?
It was, but it was also scary because I didn't know how to navigate the credit world. I didn't know how to navigate the whole home buying process.
So you did it by yourself? Your first
Essentially,
house?
yeah, essentially, yes. And I just had to keep asking questions. It was like when I first went to college. If you've never been to college and you got to go through clearinghouse, take the ACT, SAT, it's a lot of stuff. So if you've never done it, it's a little scary, and most of the time it deters people from applying or doing things. Same thing with the house. Trying to get your first house. If you don't know the process, know how it goes, it's scary. It seems unattainable. It seems like it's something you can't do.
Right.
And so I always attribute it to, correlated to when I first went to college and was just scared out of my mind, not knowing what to do, but I had to ask, and I had counselors and people who had been through the process help me to make it seem seamless.
All right, so I have to ask this question, man. 25 doors, international investor. What got you into real estate?
Being broke, wanting more from my life. So I decided to study the rich, decided to study people that had something that I want. Mm-hmm. I'm a big advocate, and I say this a lot. I don't take advice for somebody I wouldn't trade bank accounts with. And so that not to take shots at people, meaning like they probably got some knowledge that I need to know to get where I need to be. Mm-hmm. Like even with my parents, like they did the best they could with what they knew and what they know. And so I tell them I don't take advice from people that that don't have what I have. And I'm speaking business, right?
Yeah.
Because I can learn anything from anybody.
Yeah.
So I'm talking strictly from a business standpoint.
Yeah, I like that. I've never heard that. Heard it said like that. Don't take advice from anyone you would not trade bank accounts with.
Right. Yeah.
That's good, man. I like it.
I treat the same way when people drive my car. I'm like, you just like let anybody drive your car. I'm like, yeah, because I know they can pay for it. I know what they do.
Yeah. Right.
I'm not gonna let anybody who's jobless just hop in my car, regardless who they are. Like, I'm like, all right, man, because if something happened, you can't pay for it.
Yeah, you don't want people coming back and saying, "Well, don't you have insurance?"
Yeah,
and you like, yeah, not for you to be wrecking it. It's for me if I need it, right?
Right.
All right, so that's a gem. But so in today's world, how do you know who has money and who doesn't? Like. What qualifies a person? Because nobody really shares what's in their bank account.
Yeah.
What qualifies you to really sit down and have a conversation and say, hey, can you teach me how I can make it in real estate?
You watch the way they move. You know what I'm saying? They say the bad money is flashy. The real wealth is silent.
Okay.
And you watch how people move. I mean, everybody talks about Steve Jobs. He's the easy one, right? And Mark Zuckerberg. They wear the same kind of clothes. If you saw them walking down the street, for the most part, you wouldn't know who they were. And we only know them just because how rich they really are. Yeah. But a lot of rich people are not flashy. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so I also was taught a long time ago, just put yourself in places where they reside. Like I try to fly first class when I can because I know that's where they fly. Try to stay in a 5-star hotel, very minimum 4, because I know that's where they're gonna live. Yeah. I try to frequent those circles and pay to get in the room. That's really it, right? You got to pay to play. So so to answer your question, bottom line, you for the most part you pay to get in the room. Hopefully you can bring value to people to where they actually invite you into the room.
Yeah. So bring value. I'm going to ask how you get around them too. Like how do you do that? But let's touch on something real quick because I have younger friends that are millionaires that are making it and they're flashy. There's a group of people that really got it and they show it, but they really have it.
Yeah.
Do you notice a change in, I'm going to say, society where it's okay to be flashy or people that really got it are flashy with it? Or do you still believe like if a person has nice like jewelry, car collection, designer clothes, watch collection, diamonds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe right now that that's flashy money? Or could somebody have $19 million in a bank, a Rolls Royce, a Lamborghini, diamonds in all their watches, diamonds in an AP, diamonds in a Rolex, diamonds in whatever they want, diamond chains, and still really have it?
Yeah, you know we're in a different age right now. We're in a social media age where you kind of have to do that stuff. You know, I'm not a very flashy person. Like, I can have a lot of things that I see these guys with, but I don't. Because one, I don't want to be a target.
Yeah.
Right.
It depends on where you live.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Number two, you don't want people asking you for money all the time because they think you got it. You know, I tell people when I look my best is probably when I'm the brokest or whatever. I have the least amount of money. And when I got the most amount of money, you know, is when I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? And so there is, I think it's a time and a place for it. It's a preference. There is a lot more people who are flashy that don't got it than do. And I know that just from being in the space.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, but you know, when you call those people out on that, which I would never do, you're a hater. Again, it's not my business. And I tell people before you follow these people, do your homework. You really have to do your homework.
That's tough. That's a touchy subject, right there.
For sure. That's why
I just applaud people, and if they got it, I'm happy for them. I do know some younger multimillionaires that wear a lot of stuff. And the only thing I think of when I see that is I want to make sure that they're aware that they're not making themselves a target. That's my only concern.
Sure.
Because I know as a younger person, for me, like living in New York City, I would see things that were flashy and it would motivate me. I would say, oh, I want to get that car. I want to drive a Lamborghini one day. I want to drive a Ferrari because I saw it. So it does have an impact and an effect on people positively.
100%.
Right? Now, I didn't say I wanted to do what that person does because in New York City, they weren't doing things that led you down a good path.
Right. Right.
So today, I like our culture and where it is as far as like being more open about doing entrepreneurship and then showing, hey, entrepreneurs can have a crazy car collection. Entrepreneurs can have jewelry that just lights up a room.
That's what you just bought out. Tell me why.
Yeah, or how.
How. Don't just show it, then don't give me the game.
Yeah.
Like now I'm like, oh, now you're flossing and you splurging in my face and like
teasing me.
Yeah, you teasing me.
Yeah.
Like, hey, look, Lee, you got a nice watch on. Well, young man, you can have one too. All you gotta do is start with your first piece of property. And I find myself doing that a lot because I'm like, you can have it too. A lot of times, like, it's for sale, right? Because I always tell people everything's for sale. Yeah. Because I can buy it again and get it cheaper. You know what I'm saying? But I also say don't sell your real estate. You know, just leverage it. But obviously, for the right price. And if I got, if I can 1031 it, I'll sell it. I'm already. If I got a plan in mind,
if you're gonna buy a bigger one,
I'll sell it. Yeah, for sure.
Or reinvest
So, but I always would definitely, most of the time, I'm telling people don't sell your real estate. Don't sell grandma's house. Leverage it to get other money-making assets.
I love when we have real estate guests because we can have so many deep dives into conversations. There are concepts on don't sell grandma's house, and then there's concepts of sell grandma's house
if you know what to do with it.
If you know what to do with it, right? So I love real estate because there's so many different strategies and so many of them. You can make, let's just say, $1 million a year and with 5 different real estate strategies.
Yeah.
Right. There's so many people that buy and hold. There's people that buy and flip. There's people that just flip land that are multi-millionaires that own islands that have islands for sale. Right. There's so many different aspects. There's people that made millions of dollars in wholesaling. Right. There's so many different avenues. So I'm happy you're here, man. And the more we're talking, the more questions are going through my mind about, wow. All right, so tell me your unique strategy because I know you have this college thing going on, this college strategy going on where you're able to get inner city rents outside of the city.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, for the most part, right? Because so I'm in a college town,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of these colleges are in smaller towns. And so, number one, you always want to buy where there's growth and where there's something that's going to keep people there. And most of the time, universities will always keep people there because that school is not going anywhere. You know, car plants will go somewhere, different type of just factories. They come and go.
Yeah.
So those are not strong enough things. But a university, for the most part, I don't know about you, I hadn't heard of many shutting down unless they're online. But I hadn't heard many universities shut down. And obviously the University of Georgia is one that's been there for, I think, almost 200 years, like 18. I've seen the signs in like 1897 or something. You know, and so that's number one. So now I know, like, we're going to always have people coming. Number two, the football team is decent. All right? Of
course.
If you know anything about Athens, Georgia, we were good, but then we got a new coach that came from a school that was really winning a lot of national championships, and I think he was a big part of that success. Turned out to be true because he brought that same formula to the University of Georgia, and we won 2 national championships. Literally right after COVID. I tell people I became a millionaire during COVID, which everybody was panicking and losing and losing their minds and just not making money at all because they had businesses that either were shut down or whatever. And of course, we're in real estate. Guess what? We're gonna get paid the first of the month.
Yep.
You know, and so even though a couple of it was slow because of unstable stuff, but I took the strategy I learned from my college teammate because he was in the college housing where they were doing apartments, but he told me how he started and why college towns was so attractive, and he mentioned that, and I was like, oh, that's dope. All right, well, let me start with let me get my first one. I got my first one, and he just was telling me how he would rent by the door because I'd be like, yeah, how many houses you got now? He's like, well, I got 5 houses, but I have 18 doors. Mm-hmm. And so I had never heard that.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, yeah, because each individual student own their individual lease.
Right.
And it's backed by their parents, which are the guarantors.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I know that because I went to college and I had to have my parents to sign. So I'm like, all right, that makes sense. Make sure you get your rent paid. More likely that your rent gets paid. And then he was like, and then we go in these houses, and if they have a dining room, we turn it into a bedroom.
Yeah.
Like, man,
you get an extra room.
Extra room. So none of my houses have dining rooms. You know what I mean? Because college students don't care about that. Nobody sits at the dining table.
Yeah.
You know, and so I was able to go back to what we're saying. I'll go back getting small town house prices that would be double that in Atlanta. And then now I'm renting them by the door. I got a little pushback from the community because people knew that's what I did as far as real estate. And so like, yo, Lee, you got something for rent? I'm like, yeah, I do, but I don't think you want it. Like, yeah, I really need a place to stay, and I'm probably 90% I'll get it. And I'm like, well, this 2-bedroom here is, I don't know, $1,600 for 2-bedroom, 1,000 square feet. I'm like, yeah, you know, that's not a lot of money to a college student. That's you know, $1,600. That's $800.
Room and board.
That's $800 a bed. They're paying that all day. They pay more than that in the dorms, and they're bunked up. Yeah. And they share a community bathroom. And they have to be quiet.
So you put more than one person in a room?
No, I don't. I'm saying this is why people or students were more justified to pay that kind of price because they were paying it. I haven't been to college in a while, but it's not cheap to stay in the dorms.
I know.
So they're staying on bunk beds, paying almost $1,000 plus if you do divide it up.
Yeah.
Because you pay it in one big lump sum. But if you divide it up, they're paying over $1,000 a month to be 2 people in roughly 200 square feet.
Yeah, sharing 2 twin-size beds.
Twin-size bed. You know,
everything
no
small.
privacy. Yeah, you know, and so
small sink.
So when you go, all right, you can have your own room, your own space, your own closet. You don't have really a quiet time, or you don't have an RA walking up and down the hall telling you to be quiet. Yeah. You have a kitchen you can use, just you and the people within your house.
Right.
You know, it's a whole different vibe. You ain't got to pay for parking.
That's smart.
And so he broke it down for me like that, and it completely made sense. So I do what I always tell people to do. I took imperfect action, bought a house, dove head first into it. I don't even think my leases were like wrote up correctly.
Right.
But I had money. I was taking cash back then. And obviously you
Yeah.
start to evolve, and I was doing cash out, and that's why to this day I have all these apps. So when people ask like, man, you just got everything, don't you? I was like, man, you have no idea.
I have had
gave-
to accept Venmo,
right.
Cash
Because when
App,
people ask you
Zelle.
something, you either what are you gonna do? Put them out because you
You don't
can't
got the app.
the form
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
accept what the only way.
They
And
can
then
pay.
you can force them to do certain things, but I'm trying to make that money as easy as possible to
right.
come to me.
Especially in real estate. When a tenant wants to send you money, accept it.
Wait.
I mean, if they ain't backed up and you kicking
exactly,
them out.
yeah.
If they not backed up,
yeah,
and you kicking
they're
them
not
out.
backed
But
up.
if
and
they
you're not in
call
the middle
you
of
and
eviction.
say, Lee,
Yeah.
I got your rent money, but I only got, you either gonna go get it, you gonna forget that app to
Yeah.
accept it,
Yeah.
Especially for a college kid
Right.
too. And if
Get
it's
that
on a
app.
Wednesday or a
Yeah.
Thursday,
Get that app.
Don't say I'll come by Monday and pick it up because the chances are it
gone.
may be a problem.
It's gonna be gone.
Yeah, so that's smart, man. And you learned that you kind of like dissected the environment you were in because you were in
Correct.
college when you realized.
No, check this out. So we were talking about running. This was my college teammate that I ran with, and so we would go on literally 6 or 7 mile runs. This might seem like not that fast or real fast for you, but we would go about 7:30 pace. So 7 times 7, roughly 50 minutes.
Yeah.
So I got a whole hour with this guy, and I'm just picking his brain, question
Yeah.
out. So I tell people,
And he was your roommate?
no, he was my college teammate.
Okay.
And so
teammate.
we would just meet up every morning to do a run.
Did you run in college?
I did, yeah.
So you were on the team and you were running 7 miles. Was that part of practice or part of your assignment?
This was actually after college. Like I wasn't doing I didn't know anything about real estate in
You
college.
just used to running.
I just used to running.
So you just
Yeah.
habitually, let's go for a
Right,
run.
right. Then I always knew health as well. So
Yeah.
even if I was waiting on my money to catch up to my rich mind, I knew that I needed to keep my body in shape. Right.
Man, that's intelligent. That's a great habit to form.
For sure.
Great habit to have. My son works out. That's him right there. He works out in season and out of season. It's not just when the season starts he's working out. He understands
Gotta be ready.
it's a part of life,
A routine.
right? The more you take care of your health, the longer your life theoretically is going to be. Science tells you, like, right, health, diet, exercise is it. And then we understand that jogging is one of the most beneficial forms of exercise because you work the whole body. But what I really like about running is that it has a psychological effect on you.
Yeah.
Like your
Therapeutic.
mind goes through so much when you run. You clear things, you get answers, you solve problems. I encourage everybody, my entire audience, please go run. Pick that habit up and don't put it down. Sometimes the mind it's racing with everything that's going on. Does this ever happen to you?
Oh,
When
yeah.
you go for a run, you get answers to all the
So
things.
I coach cross country and track. My cross country team has had the valedictorian come out of that team 5 of the last 7 years.
Nice.
I ain't got nothing to do with it. I wish I could say that it's because of me. But these kids I think they learn how to problem solve and they learn how to take on these tough tasks because you got to be able to solve problems in the middle of a race. Like, okay, if you get tired, what, are you going to just stop?
Yeah.
No, you adjust. You slow down. You adjust in your mind,
Right.
body, soul. Keep it moving.
Yeah.
Persevere.
Yeah.
Push through. All these things that you're going to have to do as
In
an
life.
adult
Yeah.
in life. And so I really think it's dope that they are able to see it at an early age. Because I tell people that's how it worked for me. Like I can push through, especially when you first get started in real estate. If you're running a skinny operation,
Yeah.
sometimes you're cutting the grass.
Yeah.
You're painting the wall. You're turning
Take
it
the
over.
trash
When
out.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're doing a lot of things. You're driving by the properties. You're getting out, picking the trash up off the ground to keep things on par. So yeah, man,
So you really been through it in real estate.
I have. I tell people like I don't look like what I've been through.
Yeah, and here's the funny thing. Most people that make it don't look like what they've been through, and that's just a testament that go through what you have to go through
Yeah,
you will make it to the other side as long as you don't quit.
Yep.
It's
You'll be
not
fine.
going to scar you. It's not going to kill you. You may get a scar. Scars heals. You may have a setback. Those are setups for a comeback, right? Just go through it. Get started. So, Lee, give me some advice for someone that wants to get started in real estate.
I thought you were about to say running. No. But the people who are ready to get started or wanting to get started in real estate, figure out how you want to approach the real estate, right? There's a lot of wrong ways to do this, but there's a lot of right ways to do it. But there's also only 3 ways to do real estate. And I know you're familiar with all 3. One is fix and flip, which is the hardest. I start out with the hardest.
I will never do another fix and flip again in my life.
Buy and hold, because TV make it look easy. You know, that's the problem. And then you got buy and holds. I focus on mainly buy and holds. And if I do sell, I call it a slow flip.
Yeah.
You know, because I held it, made money on it, sold it, made more money. So you can buy and hold with your rentals, and last but not least, wholesale. You know, when people tell me like, "Oh, I'm a wholesaler," I know you're not serious about real estate. You're just trying to make a quick dollar. It could be anything, because we're really not wholesalers. We just use that as a exit strategy when it comes to real estate. But I encourage everybody to learn wholesaling, because that's where you are in second position to own a piece of property for the cheapest it'll ever be. The original owner has it for the cheapest it'll really ever be, and then you, because now you are in between that and the end buyer.
Yeah.
And so if you can somehow figure out how to hold on to that property by financing and creative finances, which is what I've become great at, and which I've added to my program. That is a game changer, because I was giving away all the deals. I was making money. I had to go right back to the hustling.
I never got into wholesaling. I started in buying and holding. So I bought some houses with 2 of my very close friends, and we rented out rooms, very similar to you.
For sure.
Right? We had to fight people. We had to throw some people out. We had to do the trash thing. We had to take some doors off to get them out. We had to do everything that I imagine you went through.
Man.
But your concept is really cool, because you have these leases backed by the parents. Parents are typically going to pay their kids rent.
Right.
So that's really smart what you're doing. And I love the strategy of going to a college town. That is like, it ensures the safety of you getting the rent of your investment by mountains. Now, here's what I'm going to ask, though. From a liability perspective, were you never concerned about something happening in the house that you may have been responsible for?
I used to worry about everything when I first bought. I used to go by the property, all of them, every single day.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough that they were close enough that I would run by them on my run. And so I would pick up trash, and then I would wonder, like, what if it catches on fire? What if something happened? I wouldn't even go out of town. Then my buddy was just like, same guy on the run. He was like, if it catches on fire, they're going to call the fire department. You can't put the fire out. Somebody breaks in, you, what are you going to do? You're going to go chase the thief? What are you going to do? They're going to call the police. They'll get a police report. You tell them to make sure they have renter's insurance. That's part of it. You know, and it's just like, even when I buy, I typically get it inspected. You know, inspection back then was really cheap, $200-300. They go and inspect the house, make, you know, the basics. So no, I never, until you said that, I really never worried about anything happening, because I kind of knew a lot of the rules of, like, and regulations of having a rental. Like, if there were steps, there needed to be a rail. There had to be so many inches. That if they were going down, that they had to be apart. It was a lot of just little things like that you really don't have to worry about, because most of the stuff was already taken care of. There's also things that was upgrade, like smoke detectors, and to carbon monoxide, they need to be both, especially if it had gas. You know, just a lot of just not a lot, but little just things like that.
Basic things.
So
is there basic tenants? And I'm just thinking, like, if I rent it to a 24-year-old or a 19-year-old, it's a lease. It's the same relationship, landlord-tenant relationship. They just may be a little bit younger. Do you enforce, like, college dorm rules, or no? It's a lease. This is your room. I'm out of here.
Yeah, kind of like that, because, like, at the end of the day, the worst thing can happen is it catches on fire. Oh, guess who has it insured? I do.
Yeah.
And the bank or the insurance company going to give me every single dollar it costs to build that thing back up brand new.
Yeah.
So what do you think I'm going to do when I get it built back up brand new? I'm going up on the rent because now it's going to be like luxury.
Fully
premium,
renovated, right?
Fully renovated.
New
You know what I'm
paint,
saying?
new everything.
So unfortunately, I don't ever hope that happens. But even if you think like you just asked me, why I'm up here in New York with you.
Yeah.
Rent is about to get paid in a couple of days. I have people moving in today.
Yeah.
You
School
think I'm
starting
worried?
this
Yeah, it's the
month, right?
27th. Yeah, school
in August.
Yeah, school starts late in August, but they want to get there early so they can party.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know,
All right.
Georgia, Athens was a #1 college party town for a while, for a minute. Like they get down in Athens.
So you in demand over there.
Man, so it's just like New York and these big cities. Everybody's starting to come in.
Yeah.
Everybody. But again, I got my lane. I do what I do and I do it well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
found a
I don't
nice
worry
niche.
about all the skyscrapers going. They don't let you build skyscrapers. They got rules in Athens. You can't be no higher than the highest point in Athens.
Yeah.
Which is downtown Capitol building, and it ain't that big. So I say all that to say, I'm confident in the space that I'm in, and a lot of times it's close enough to campus that they really don't turn over. They just pass them to their friends. So I don't even have to advertise. They just keep passing it around.
That was
man.
my next question.
Yeah.
How do you get it out there when you have a vacancy?
You don't have to because it's such a big sorority and frat town that these kids
Pass it on.
They pass it on.
Nice.
You know, and I try to keep it fair. Like I keep the rents fair.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not out there. Why? Because I can. Because I got.
That's a great answer.
Back-
you don't have to explain that, bro.
Back to what you
don't
were saying.
have to squeeze nobody.
Yeah, so that's why I talk about wholesaling a lot because you get it for the cheapest price than anybody could ever sell it to you for outside of the actual owner that's in distress. Yeah. And so I tell people even if you were planning to sell it, you make your money when you buy. Like if you were doing a fix and flip, you buying it with the cheapest you can with the with all the repairs in mind, calculated for the most part, thinking about what would be left over, right?
Of course.
Because that's again you making your money when you
buy. Of course.
Yeah.
All right, man. I love that concept. It's making me. So I interviewed someone who focuses on buying houses under $100,000, leveraging business credit and things like that. And I'm thinking now, if someone wanted to get into real estate, what are your thoughts on finding a college town and then buying a house as low as they can and then renting it out to college students?
It'd be great. You know, even
Solid
if
idea.
even if you're not there, you could essentially get a real estate agent because these real estate agents are hungry, man. I'll be honest with you, like. They always ask, you got a real estate license? How you making all this money? Mm-hmm. I don't need a real estate license. I already put my school in. I don't want to take no more tests. And I promise you, I probably make more than your favorite real estate agent.
Yeah.
I promise you. Yeah, they get lump sums or whatever, but my stuff is consistent with me doing less than half of what they do. You know, and so and it's funny because even when a real estate agent brings me a deal, you know the first question I ask them?
What?
Why didn't you buy it? Because they'll tell me a lot right there. Right. Before I even go in, why didn't you buy it? And it's typically, it's a bad house, or it was what we get to when I start asking, or the finance is not straight. I'm like, you see what I do. Most people, they know what I do in my town.
Right.
And I'm like, is your pride that high, or are you that stupid that you don't ask me how and what I do?
Man, I wonder that all the time. I wonder why people don't ask all the time.
I tell people all the time, I was too stupid not to ask you.
There's something there. I think it's almost a personality type where you have to either be hungry enough, humble enough, or smart enough to just ask people, hey, what do you do? And so you see in my mind, I was putting it together. Hey, all right, so if they got houses for really low prices, just find sort all the colleges, right? The college towns, and see if you can buy in that area, right? I'm not afraid to ask somebody, how did you make $1 million last year?
I'm sure right now if I ask you how to come into the game, you probably could tell me like, look, hey man, we're going to pull this tax record. We can get, actually even your report, you can get these houses for $0.01 on the dollar. You can get land for X amount of dollars. Bro, now they got to now, man. Even if you just need to pull a manufactured homeowner, you don't even got to worry about it getting built. They got stuff that's already built. They got tiny houses.
Yeah.
They got all. Now the game is changing. Like if you can be creative and you have a vision. So now I'm starting to be a visionary. Now my vision is, all right, let me grow my community, share this information, share this game, even if it's for a discount, because if you give people enough game, they'll come back.
Yeah, that was my next question. So what do you teach this stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. For a minute, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know how to do it other than you got a question, Charles?
Yeah.
All right, this is what you do. All right,
And then they keep coming back and asking more. Tell
Right.
me this. Tell me this piece. Tell me this piece.
Yeah, because that's kind of what I did, but I did it while I was running.
Yeah.
So now, of course, I'm around bigger thinkers, bigger people in the game, and it's again it goes back to your association with people, and they're like, Lee, why don't you have a product? You ain't got an ebook, you ain't got a course, you ain't got this. If I'm gonna do it, I want to do it right. I didn't want to just put something together, and it wasn't A1 quality, and it wasn't as they say. I'll tell you what, this is who helped me, and you can't. We know, don't ask for nothing for free.
Yeah.
When we get to a certain space, you automatically go, how much is it? Because it doesn't matter how much it costs.
That's exactly my
we
point.
ask how much it's gonna make us, and so
Versus
I already
how
see
much
these
it's
guys
gonna
in the space. I'm like,
Yeah.
you made what? I
Yeah.
saw your Instagram the other day. You made what?
Yeah.
And I know, man, you know about the same amount of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you like this, these challenges and these ebooks and these stores and these what?
People.
A masterclass? So again, I never regret. That's one thing about me. I never ever regret investing in myself, even if it don't make me money, because you learn a lesson or you learn what not to do.
Yeah.
So man, I just watch these people and they will ask me these questions because your circle will challenge you.
Yeah.
If they like you and
supposed
if they
to.
love you and they want to see you win, see you grow. If your circle ain't telling you like, what's up, man, what you got going on? They ain't inquiring.
Yeah.
They probably plotting.
So you, so you have a community, where you teach, and you see, I'm so curious. My mind is just going crazy because this is really valuable information. I started out making a lot of money with doing rooming houses. They just weren't illegal in New York at the time, right? Now that you figured out a way to do it, which is so smart because kids get tired of staying on the dorms. They outgrow it.
And there's only so many dorms.
They want the independent. There's so many positives to having your own space anyway. So I have a ton of questions. And when you talk about free, man, I almost, at my level, I don't want anything free.
Right. Exactly. That's why I said you get to the point, you're just like, you know what? I already know if I'm paying you X amount of dollars, I almost hope the more it costs, I hope it costs $100K.
The obligation for you to teach me the information,
to teach you the information
is higher. When it's free, like if somebody let me in something for free,
I feel like you don't waste my time. And if you do, you're gonna be like, it was free anyway. What you crying for?
Or even look at it like this: if I let somebody into my mentorship for free, right? Let's just say I got 10 people in mentorship. I let one in for free. 9 people have their hands up raised. I'm going to really just naturally gravitate to the people that paid me first. I'll get to your free question later. He's free. I'll get to that free section later. Right. Everything free. When people offer me free, I don't want it. I want the paid version because the obligation that comes with the paid version is much stronger than the free version. So I don't mind paying for information. I don't mind paying to skip a line. Right, I don't. Let's just say we're at the airport, right? Clear and TSA will get you to your gate way faster than the free one.
Right,
like those free people, they miss a lot of planes.
Right, y'all got it.
No offense to the people that don't have the $97 for Clear or free or TSA or Delta Digital, whatever. But it just goes to the mindset of some people, and in life. With information, if you pay for it, it's almost that simple. You actually get to go through and get there much faster. Right. So when did you start your community?
Actually, the first 30 years. So I started the free community for 2 reasons. I wanted to give back, and to give value, right? I don't nobody know me. Don't nobody know me from Adam and Eve, like
Yeah.
nationally, whatever. Cause right, we're in a digital age, so I'm not just reaching people in my neighborhood. I'm reaching people all over the United States, all over the world. So I'm not known. So now this is why I'm in New York talking to you.
Yeah.
That's why I have a billboard in New York so people can see who Lee A. Patterson is. Yeah. And so you start out with the free community. You give value, and people tune into your podcast because you're giving away game. Mm-hmm. Yo, you need to go listen to Charles and the newsroom.
I'm bringing on guests like you
know
brother. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
So then now people are growing your brand for you because they know you give value, which then in turn I started the paid community.
Okay.
Right? Paid community is basically people who want to take that thing to the next level, who wants to be serious. Want me to hold their hand a little bit. Yeah. Not quite mentorship, but almost like I got it laid out in PDF/video form where you can literally, if you want it, you gonna read everything. You gonna digest every single thing that's in that classroom.
And from an educational perspective too, free education and things like that, they are paying you. They're paying with their time.
That's correct.
They're paying attention. Then you're gonna have, or you do have, successful people that come from your school community that are taking action and doing what you're doing.
For sure.
Which is like amazing in itself, man. I'm really happy to see what you got going on. I appreciate it. I've never spoken to anyone in real estate that does this strategy.
For a while, I was like nothing special about what I do until people start asking me what I do and how I do it.
Because
I'm just focused on me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just say, don't worry about focus on what you do. My buddy told me, I'm like, yeah, man, I got these 5 houses now, and like, should I come over there with you and start trying to figure out this multifamily thing? Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, Lee. You killing it in there. I would stay just keep going, right? Because we start getting shiny. I ain't gonna say shiny and syndrome object, whatever. But I started wanting to like, hey, because honestly, when I was watching what he was doing, which was on a large scale, I'm like, that's what I want. But he like, nah, dog, just keep killing.
Oh yeah. There. Don't think, and that's why I like your strategy. More doors don't equal more money. Mm-hmm. Your strategy is so stacked with value and impact because priority of parents are their kids, right? They are going to pay their kids
somewhere to stay,
rent, where they stay. They're in college. You have to pay that.
Man, we done sent them off to this town,
right. We done sent them off somewhere. What are we going to let them get kicked out? Right. You have to pay that bill. So when I think of renting and I think of tenants, these could be the highest quality tenants. Do you have issues with people not paying?
I don't.
I know you don't. I already knew the answer before I asked it.
Man, look,
because I'm a parent.
When I first got in, my God, man, it was New Jack City. I'm not going to lie. I was hustling.
When you have to pay something for your kid, you want to pay that thing up front. You want to pay that stress. You want to pay it ahead. I don't want to pay my. He's going to college. He's on his basketball scholarship, so we don't have to pay anything. But if I did have to pay something for my sons out of state where I can't see them, I don't even want to pay you late because I don't want you in my mind, I'm like, I don't want you thinking that he ain't got it. He might not have it, and you fix his sink. No. Hey, let me just knock that off. Hey, bro, here you go. Appreciate you. Right, everything. Is there anything I could do for you? Right,
I'm here.
Can we pay for next semester, Lee? Like, let me lock it in now. Hey, he's having a good time as a parent. Let me just lock in next semester. He ain't getting kicked out next semester, right? Can he come back?
I kid you not, man. Let me show you how crazy it was. The college student was just taking over this town so bad that I wasn't even renting to the college student because regular people were needing places to stay before I could even put it on the college cycle. Yeah. So the college cycle is from August 1st to July 25th of the next year. And so I can't help when I buy a house and people sell them. I got it right here. Let me put that on the contract. And so I don't want it to sit 4 or 5 months. So I would put it on the market. People rent it.
Gone.
And so I literally right now have literally just got 90% of my houses or rooms under just college kids.
Okay. Good strategy, bro. Man, I just gotta give you your props on that strategy,
appreciate
man.
it, man.
You didn't. I don't think you share that as your strategy. I hear you talking about, right? So I follow you on Instagram. Just give the audience your Instagram real quick.
Lee A. Patterson, just my name. Yeah.
You talk about funding. You talk about the credit side. You give value. You give game on banks. You don't really say like, "Hey, y'all, stop messing with them Section 8 tenants. Stop messing with that boyfriend and girlfriend that's going to break up next week, and the girlfriend going to say she can't pay the rent because he done cheated, and she caught him cheating, and she kicked him out, and she ain't got the money." Like, stop all of that. You don't really say that in a lot of your content from what I see.
Yeah.
I see you teaching, but the real golden nugget in your messaging is you found what I think is the best tenant that can be found.
Yeah.
Is a child whose parents pay for the rent.
People always be like, "Man, I bet they be messing your place up, don't you?" Like, no, and they gone all summer.
Yeah.
And over Christmas, they only there 9 out of the 12 months of the year. Think about it. They're gone July and June.
Break, rent gotta be
they're
paid.
They're gone November and December.
And the rent gotta be paid.
Or mostly just December.
And they pay
and the
you
rent still got to be paid.
Oh, man, I love it. So your bill, do you pay the gas, electric? How do you divide it? You divide it?
It's on you. It's on
Come
them.
on, bro. Come
It's
on,
them.
bro.
Right?
Come on,
That's
bro.
the beauty of it. Like these,
Cooking.
especially like, and I mean, I don't know the ratio at most schools, but at Georgia, it's like for every guy, there's like 15 girls. Like this is the ratio. So most of these are rented out by girls or young ladies, and they don't really trash your place.
Yeah, they ain't
like
gonna
that.
wreck it.
You know what I'm saying?
And if they do, they might call a parent. Oh, how could
Right.
you got to fix
For
this.
sure. And I tell people, I got the deposit. That's what the deposit is for. Right? That's number one. Number two, what's the worst thing you can do? Put a hole in the wall? That's easy.
Yeah, of course. Man, that's super smart. All right, Lee.
I know you sitting there like, I wish that was all I had to worry about when I took.
I got out of buying and holding for the most part, just because the cost of housing the cost to buy these houses is so expensive. The pathway to renovating was so challenging with these contractors that are out here. And land is such an easy flip. But now that I'm thinking about it, it'd probably be a good investment. If you can get the closer to a college you can get.
Yeah, it's a lot of people from the north and northeast and the Midwest
Getting
coming
into
down. What is just coming down to the south? Why you think everything Atlanta was never this expensive?
Yeah.
I mean, it would literally go, New York, Philadelphia, all in, and then it would skip over, Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, and then go to Florida and get back expensive.
Yeah.
But all that alone, I guess what they call the Dixie Mason line, man, that stuff is cheap. Still cheaper than Louisiana and Mississippi.
Yep. All right, Lee, we're going to go rapid fire round, and then we have the block talk segment. So rapid fire, man. What's the most money you've ever made in a month from real estate?
I made $254K a couple of weeks ago. I posted on my Instagram, and I didn't. I had the caveat, like, I don't post this for the brag. I post this for motivation, show y'all the power of real estate and what you can do if you just stay consistent.
How in the hell did you make $254,000 in real estate?
Just it was not really a complex deal, but it was just some series of houses. Like, I met these ladies who just sold me multiple houses, and they're in their 70s, and they're like, we're gonna sell you, and we're just gonna dump a house a year, almost I guess until they die, you know. And they were excited. They were the first Caucasian people who I've ever seen excited about my journey and what I was doing. They thought it was unbelievable that a young black man was just gun-ho, focused on, they call me a tycoon. Like, gee, this is how we have you saved in our phone. I was like, I'm not a tycoon, but I receive it. I receive it in the name of Jesus.
So they sold them to you and you just put them back on the market?
I held them. I did it like, I guess you would call it a slow flip. I held them and rented them and basically sold them and got ready to pour into my digital product, man.
So you sold a house that you purchased and you sold it and made $254,000.
Man, I don't even want to tell you what these ladies sold me these houses for, because you'll think I took advantage of them. But man, look, they own a dentistry there in town I frequent, And I told them I will always frequent, and whatever they tell me to do, I would, support. You know what I mean? Like these ladies single-handedly, with that half of that portfolio they sold me, has made me a millionaire by itself.
Wow.
So I'm forever grateful
Nice.
to them. And I tell people sometimes a lot of this too is luck, but luck is a sum of you doing consistent work. Every
I don't
single
believe
day.
in luck, man.
And
You're in the
and being
right
touch.
place. You're in the
being
right business.
and being ready to go.
Yeah.
Like people are like, well, let
Being
me
ready.
get my finance together. It's too late.
Yep.
Too late. Which is why I start with the free community, which is getting your credit together, which will lead to probably what you're gonna ask me later. You
Okay.
know?
Nice. All right. Second rapid fire question, man. I got for you. What's the worst experience you've had being a landlord?
The turnover. I had a house that was so bad. I mean, I don't want to go into details, but it was just that bad. Like I couldn't believe somebody was living like that and would trash somebody's stuff like that. Like it was, and then they had kids. I was like, it was unbelievable. I expect to buy stuff like this because that's how you get the deals. But when you have rented to somebody and then they leave and you see it and that.
I could tell in the look of your face, bro, that it smelled. It smelled horrible.
Yeah, it was a bad experience, man.
Some bad mattresses in there.
Yeah.
Appliances broken.
Yeah, I probably thrown away. If I just had to guess of how much trash over the years that dumpsters that we have gathered and just thrown away.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Other people's trash, man.
Yeah.
So
that was one of the bad experiences, and I had a bad experience, and I think a lot of people will go through this if you get into it, doing evictions.
Okay.
Like that's really how I get a lot of great properties. Obviously, the bad conditions, and people are afraid to kick people out.
Oh yeah.
I'll
They
do
don't
it.
want to go through the headache.
I'll do it. Now I hire a guy to do it. I got a guy that literally like if you want to manage my property, you got to put him out. Okay. And man, he be getting chewed out, and he got to catch that 4-9-1-1. You know,
It's a wrestling match. It's who's gonna give
Right.
first. If you don't give up, you'll get him out eventually.
Right.
If you give up, that's why some people sell their house. They can't get
Correct.
these people out. They're not willing to
Correct.
fight and stand their
some
ground.
of them don't even know what to do because Georgia is a tenant state, meaning the judge is going to
side.
99.9% of the time, bro.
Yeah.
I literally just went through this. I had everything. Ladies on a month to month. We gave her 60 days. We went back the second time, and then what they do, they say you go outside the courtroom and y'all need to figure this out. Come up to a resolution. Come back inside. We come back inside because we want you to leave. She's like, well, I ain't got nowhere to go. There ain't a resolution. So he goes, y'all need to come with a resolution. I'm going to throw it out. Meaning, if he throws it out, they stay in,
And you
I
got
have
to start
refile
all over
again.
and figure something else out.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so we developed, and we didn't develop this or come up with it, but we utilized the cash for keys. But people.
That is so worth it, isn't it?
You have no idea. I'm telling you, that's why I don't worry about the shape of houses, because guess what? To fix that, a check.
Yeah.
I don't worry about this stuff no more. I used to be like, see stuff. I'm like, it's like when people smell pigs.
Right.
It smells like shit to us,
Yeah.
but that smell like money to a farmer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
like the mindset. So when I would see a house, I'm like, man, look at them windows,
Yeah.
busted out. Look at that roof
It's just,
leaking. You know.
you're a visionary.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been told that a lot because I see vacant houses that are on sale for $18,000. And all I'm seeing is get a crew in there as fast as I can, renovate it, get tenants in, and at $18,000, I now own a house debt free. That house is going to pay me
Pay you
forever.
back
That's
quickly.
all I see. I don't see how much something's going to cost.
Yeah.
I'm looking at how much it's
It'll
going to
you,
make
for sure.
versus what's available that's rent ready might be $184,000. So
Yeah.
now I'm saying, look, 184, let me go for the 18, get this thing ready up to the 184 standards, and now I got 184,000 house
Right.
for $64,000.
All right.
Yep. All right, Lee. Now we're gonna go to Block Talk, man. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you being on the show. Block Talk. Tell me about what you have coming up that students, audiences, my audience, and other people can learn from you.
There's there's always something on the books, but my big event of my 5-day challenge is about to happen in the last week of August, and I'm hosting a free masterclass every Thursday and Sunday at 7:00.
Where can they find that free masterclass?
They can find it in my bio on my Instagram, or they can go. They can go comment masterclass, and they'll get automated
on any one of your
on my Instagram. Yep, on any post, because it's Manny Chatter. Instantly send it to them.
Okay.
The link, and so that's the way to get it. And
what are you going to teach? Do you have it broken down yet? What's day one
for
like?
sure. Yeah, I'm going to kind of teach an A to Z. First, how to clean your credit, how to set up your LLC, how to structure it properly, how to fund it, and then how to get your first income producing asset, aka real estate, because that's what I do. Or a lot of people already got their own thing going. I'm here for it.
Okay.
So just as long as you have something that you want to do,
right?
This is for you, because I don't want anybody to come learn how to get funded and then just don't have anything, know what to do with the money. Yeah. I take it serious. Like you hear about all the scam and stuff and all the information that people are teaching, but then they throw the twist in there and it turns it into something that could get them in trouble.
Yeah.
So I like to tell people, even when it's painful and takes a little longer, like, look, man, if your credit is bad and it takes a little bit of time to get it clean, you mess it up. So you can't be mad because these bureaus take a little longer to clean them up, because this stuff's kind of, a lot of time it's legit stuff, right? And so we're trying to get legit stuff off of your credit report. So you got to be patient.
Are you teaching the strategy of how to buy houses in the college towns?
I am, for the simple fact that, like, that's the first thing people ask, like, all right, where should I start? Yeah. That's one of the places that I teach you how to start, show you how to pull the list, show you how to find the college towns, as along with the top 20 banks in that state you may be in, right? Because, again, we're global, or we're statewide, so I have to be able to assist people in multiple states.
You did start off, and this is the best piece for everybody that's watching. They getting a gem today, Lee. You really gonna put some stuff together, Lee. So you started off teaching about a bank where people can buy their first house without any money down. Mm-hmm. So if someone enters your challenge, are you gonna teach them how to buy a house with no money down in a college town?
Oh, for sure. That's the easy part. Honestly, it's crazy. The hard part is finding the actual piece of real estate and putting it on a contract. Because a lot of people get nervous, they get scared, and blah, blah, blah. Right? Cleaning your credit, getting an LLC, getting it funded, that stuff's easy. That's why you see so many people on the internet trying to teach you.
Yeah.
Like, people I had somebody call and they were like, yeah, I need $20K. That's it? Like, we spend that on ads. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, you got to think a little bit bigger. You know what I mean? Like, I want you to think, you don't even need me for that.
What you going to do after you spend the $20K?
Well, just join my community. You can get that game for my VIP community, $39. You can get that game for $39.
Nice.
It'd be the best thing. You don't even have to pay me, because when we get people funding, we obviously charge 10%. But I got a whole course in my VIP about how to get your first $100K. But I also know people love to have things done for them, so we do have the done for you service.
That's smart, man. I appreciate it. All right, so what's day 5 on the challenge?
Day 5? Day 5 is, what did we put on day 5? Day 5, I think, is, day 4 is the offer. We're going to give you an opportunity to work with us one-on-one, and we're going to teach you how to start your own funding business or do exactly what we do. And I think day 5, we'll bring in multifamily, right? So people who want to learn about multifamily, maybe it's some storage unit type things. Yeah.
Just like a little bit more of like a stretch goal. So you're going to start,
stretch goal. Yep.
Crawl before you walk before you run. And then when you're ready to run, you have the knowledge already.
I mean, it's so much sauce we got, man. And I almost get in trouble with the team because I just be giving so much of it away.
No, there's no such thing.
I know. That's why I don't ever worry about it. I never worry about it.
And you know so much that you can't give it away in a 5 days, right? You got years and years of experience. You can give as much as you want, as much as you can.
Yeah.
But there's still so much more we know, that we've gone through, that we've done.
They said people who don't, when they come on these podcasts and stuff and don't want to really teach like that, they say that it's because they don't know enough. right? People who give out a lot of free game because they know so much that they know it's not going to phase them.
I got thousands of land banks and tax sales. I can give out 3. I can give out 5 per episode for the rest of the year,
for sure,
and still not have none that I go to.
Right, and and most of the time, a lot of these people are going to want you to hold their hand and show them how.
Yeah,
because again, the quickest way to the bag is with a mentor.
Yeah, 100%.
You know that. I know
100%.
that. And for some reason, I find myself having to have to convince people of that thing that you do need a mentor.
Yeah.
And look, I'm so gangster with it. Even if you don't get me for your mentor, get somebody.
Yeah.
that's the free game for today. If you don't get me, get somebody.
Think of it like this, and this is how I talk about mentorship. When you work out with a coach, right, or a trainer, you do so much more than when you do it by yourself.
Yeah.
When I run by myself, the first couple laps or mile or so, I think about quitting at least 3 times.
Yeah.
Just my body hurts. That like I gotta loosen up. So during those times, I'm thinking about stopping. I'm going slower. I might want to do 3 miles. If I'm by myself, I'll do 2. If I go with you, I already know I'm probably going to be doing somewhere between 3 to 6 because that's just what you do all the time.
Oh, yeah, you can ask Brandon about how that goes.
When I get tired, I'm not even going to voice it that I'm tired and start thinking about something else because I know Lee ain't going for it. I know I have to do more. In the weight room, you go with a trainer, you go with a coach that's going to spot you. So you're automatically going to do more reps. You're going to get further. You're going to get the gains faster. In basketball, you go with a coach that's going to rebound for you. You're going to shoot 8 times more than if you went by yourself.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. So coaching is always better. I look at coaching and mentorship as the same. They're both in place to help you go further. And the fastest way to get somewhere is to find somebody and learn from them that has already been there. They'll tell you the exact way to get there. That's gonna conclude our episode with Lee A. Patterson.
Yeah,
Lee, please, before we take them out, tell them where to find you on that camera.
Again, you can find me at Lee A. Patterson on Instagram and across all social media platforms. We're the most busiest in our community and on Instagram. So tap in with us. And we love to hear from you. And matter of fact, you can drop newsroom in the chat, and I'll send you guys something special.
Awesome. What's the name of the challenge?
Secure the keys. Get your credit.
Secure the keys. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. Hey, that's what them parents want to do for their kids, right?
Fix your credit. Secure the keys.
Secure those keys. All right. Thank you so much, man, for stopping by. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the Real Estate Newsroom so you guys can learn from more guests like my guy Lee, who just shared a ton of game and really gave you guys like some real opportunity to get into real estate in a very safe way. See you guys on the next episode. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, bro.
That was